Let me begin with a simple but important question. If you checked your bank account around midnight and didn't see your Social Security payment, did your heart sink for a moment? Did you wonder whether something had gone wrong, whether you were late, forgotten, or left out? If that feeling sounds familiar, I want you to know right away you are not alone and you are not doing anything wrong. I'm really glad you're here with me tonight because this is one of those moments where clarity matters just as much as the money itself. For many people listening, this deposit is not extra spending money. It is rent money. It is grocery money. It is medication money. It is peace of mind. And when timing feels unclear, especially late at night, worry can creep in very quickly. My name is Sara, and tonight I want to slow everything down for you. We're going to talk calmly and clearly about what's really happening with Social Security deposits right now. Why some people are seeing activity around midnight, why others are still waiting, what is normal, what is not, and what you should and should not do in this moment. By the time we're done, the confusion should be gone, and you should feel steadier and more confident. This conversation is for retirees, Social Security beneficiaries, Supplemental Security Income recipients, Social Security Disability Insurance recipients, widows and widowers, disabled Americans, veterans who receive benefits, and the caregivers who help manage all of this behind the scenes. My role here is to read the guidance, understand the systems, and translate everything into plain human language so you don't have to carry that burden alone. Let me say something very clearly right at the start. Some people are seeing deposits, some people are seeing pending activity, some people are seeing nothing yet. That does not automatically mean something is wrong. Delays, timing differences, or missing posts are not your fault. This is about how the system works, not about anything you did or failed to do. So please take a breath with me. There is no need to panic. We are going to walk through this together. Let's start with why this always seems to happen at midnight. Why are so many people checking their bank accounts late at night, refreshing screens, and comparing notes with neighbors or family members? The answer is actually very simple once you understand it. Social Security payments are released by the United States Treasury on a schedule, but they are posted to your bank account on a completely separate timeline that is controlled by your bank, not by the Social Security Administration. Right now, we are at the beginning of a new payment cycle. That is why activity is starting to show up for some people. Some banks choose to post deposits as soon as they receive the payment file from the Treasury. Other banks wait until the next business day. Some banks post overnight. Others wait until morning processing. Weekends and federal holidays can slow things down even more. All of this creates a perfect storm for confusion. You might hear someone say, "I got paid right at midnight." Then you check your account and see nothing. That does not mean Social Security skipped you. It does not mean your payment is missing. And it does not mean you need to take action tonight. Emotionally, though, I understand exactly how hard waiting can be. When bills are due, when food prices are high, when prescriptions need refilling, waiting feels heavy. And social media does not help. You may see posts claiming that everyone should already be paid, or that if your money isn't there at midnight, something is wrong. Friends, that is simply not how the system actually works. On paper, Social Security has a clear and organized payment schedule, but in real life, payments move through several layers before they reach your account. First, the Social Security Administration authorizes the payment. Then the Treasury releases it. Then it moves through federal payment systems. Then banks receive the file. Then each bank follows its own internal posting rules. Social Security can release your payment on time, and your bank can still post it later, especially overnight. Midnight deposits are bank decisions, not Social Security decisions. And this is one of the biggest misunderstandings I see. There is no button at Social Security that someone can press to make your bank post the money faster. Calling Social Security in the middle of the night will not change your bank's processing schedule. That can be frustrating to hear, but it's important to understand so you don't direct your energy and worry in the wrong place. What I'm sharing with you tonight is not opinion and not rumor. It's based on how Social Security, the Treasury, Medicare deductions, and banking systems actually interact. And when you understand the system, fear starts to lose its grip. Let me gently reorient you, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed. Here's where we are so far. We've talked about why some people see midnight activity. We've explained why others do not yet. And we've separated Social Security rules from bank behavior. Coming up next, I want to walk you through exactly how payment timing works, who gets paid when, and why two people on the same type of benefit can see money at very different times. Let's slow this down even further and talk about the calendar itself. Not everyone is paid on the same schedule. If you started receiving Social Security before May of 1997, your payment date is usually the 3rd of the month. If you receive Supplemental Security Income, that payment normally comes on the 1st of the month, unless the first falls on a weekend or federal holiday, in which case it is moved. If you receive retirement or Social Security disability insurance benefits and started after 1997, your payment date is tied to your birth date. Birthdays on the 1st through the 10th are usually paid on the 2nd Wednesday. Birthdays on the 11th through the 20th are paid on the 3rd Wednesday. Birthdays on the 21st through the 31st are paid on the 4th Wednesday. That is the official schedule. But here is the reality that causes confusion. Social Security releases the money, but banks decide when you actually see it. Some banks make funds available early. Others wait until their systems complete verification. That is why one person may see a deposit at midnight while another sees it later in the morning or even later in the day. This difference does not mean one person is favored over another. It simply reflects how different banks operate. Now let's talk about another layer that can affect what you see: deductions and adjustments. Cost of living adjustments are applied automatically. You do not need to request them, but Medicare Part B premiums, Medicare Advantage plans, prescription coverage, overpayment recoveries, or voluntary tax withholding can all be taken out before the money reaches your account. That can make a deposit look smaller than expected, even when nothing is wrong. This is especially confusing when combined with timing differences. You may be waiting for a payment, worrying about when it will arrive, and then when it does arrive, the amount looks different. That can feel alarming, but most of the time, there is a clear explanation behind it. Certain groups often experience extra confusion, and I want to acknowledge them directly. Widows and widowers receive survivor benefits that follow Social Security rules, but timing can still vary depending on banking behavior. Disabled adult children receive benefits tied to a parent's work record, which can sometimes create different processing sequences. Couples receiving Supplemental Security Income may see delays because payments are handled as a combined record. Dual beneficiaries who receive both SSI and SSDI may see one payment arrive while the other is still processing. Veterans' benefits are handled through a completely separate system, and they do not control Social Security timing, just as Social Security does not control veterans' payments. And when a representative payee is involved, banks may apply additional verification steps. None of these situations mean you did anything wrong. Now, let me explain one more piece that helps everything make sense: the automated clearinghouse system. This is the electronic network that moves payments like Social Security deposits. When the Treasury sends a payment file, it passes through the Federal Reserve, and then banks retrieve those files. Larger banks may process several times a day. Smaller banks may process only once. That alone can create hours of difference. Holidays and weekends add another layer. A payment scheduled for a Monday holiday may be released earlier, but not posted until later. That gap can look scary if you don't know why it's happening. Direct deposit has made payments safer and faster overall, but it still depends on banks posting funds. If you recently changed bank accounts, that can also cause a temporary delay while information is verified. Name mismatches or joint account issues can sometimes trigger holds as well. This is why it's helpful to keep your information up to date and to use account alerts if your bank offers them. And if you have access, checking your Social Security online account can confirm that a payment was sent, even if it hasn't posted yet. I also want to gently clear up some rumors that tend to spread during moments like this. Social Security is not secretly holding payments. If your money isn't there at midnight, it is not gone. Payments are not released by state, and no group is being singled out. Social Security follows national systems and federal rules. Now, let's talk about what to do if a payment is truly missing. Social Security generally follows a 3-business-day rule. That means if your payment does not appear within 3 full business days after the scheduled date, then it is appropriate to take action. Before reaching out, gather your information, stay calm, and remember that most issues are resolved once reviewed. I know this isn't just about systems and schedules, it's about real life. It's about bills, food, health, and dignity. You earn these benefits. They are not a favor and not charity, and you deserve clear answers. Here's the most important thing I want you to take with you tonight. Understanding replaces anxiety. When you know how the system works, you don't have to panic at midnight. You don't have to compare yourself to others. You can wait with confidence, knowing that timing differences are normal. You are not behind. You are not forgotten, and you are not alone. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take care of yourself tonight. Breathe. And remember, clarity brings calm, and calm helps you move forward with confidence.